In the corner of the globe is a small archipelago simply known as the Tradewinds. Each island being vastly different than the others, the citizens of the Tradewinds sought to sell their bountiful resources across the seas. They faced a brutal and unforgiving sea, ruthless pirates, and other unknown beings of the deep. But how will you carve out your story in the Tradewinds? Will you seek to slake your thirst for riches? Will you try to gain favor with the citizens by completing various contracts? Or will you just toss it all out the porthole and dabble in a bit of piracy? The choice and its consequences are yours. Hi, my name is Kiefer Shipman, designer of Merchants of the Tradewinds, which is a highly modular 2 to 4 player strategy game. In this game, players will travel across an ever-changing game board to try and complete contracts, deliver resources, and destroy each other in brutal piracy. I wanted to create a game where players didn't have just one way, one choice to complete a game. I wanted to give players the same kind of freedoms that video games often give their players, but I also didn't want it to last 6 hours. So I came up with Merchants of the Tradewinds. So as I said before, I wanted to create a game where there's not simply one path to victory. So in this game, I have 3 different paths to victory. In each one of these bags is a victory point tile numbered 1 to 3. And once you complete certain conditions, you can draw from these bags. For example, if you wanted to draw from the gold bag, what you would have to do, spend 5 gold. Simple enough. There's also contracts. By completing a contract, there are public, and each player gets their own private deck of cards that have private contracts on them. You draw from that bag. Finally, there's piracy, which is straight up eviscerating anyone and everything that gets in your way. So the game board has variable movement based upon whatever the sea is like in the location you're currently at. Some tiles will allow for easy passage, but things might get more and more difficult to pass through as you go along. On top of that, there are also special tiles that, when flipped over, may impede your movement further, or, in the case of this one right here, may absolutely eviscerate your ship altogether. So on each turn, what players will do, starting off, is roll a die. On this die is special faces with a direction on them. Looking at this compass right here, and comparing it with the S on this die face, we will move the pirate south. But then, after the pirate is moved, we draw cards from the event deck. Each player will draw one, and they may be something like a card that you can use for a later turn. They might be a card that you can equip to your ships. Or they could be something that immediately destroys any ship that is at a dock, or any ship that is on a specific wave. Or maybe even take an entire row of tiles and shift them around. There's so many different things that can happen. And if you're lucky, you might even make it to your destination to sell your cargo for a tidy profit. The seafloor of the Tradewinds is littered with the failed conquests for riches and glory. Will you be among them? Thank you everybody for watching. My name is Kiefer Shipman, and I hope you subscribe, and hopefully we'll be showing a lot more content soon regarding this game. Thank you.